well. So it's really just to kind of open it up for any questions. Now, I have notes, but I don't want to be the first to put the three of them under pressure.
I'm interested actually in your presentation, Scott, because it's badly needed money council, to be honest. But from the point of view of your own team, is it obvious in Edinburgh City Council you need a change team, or have you actually had to create a business case for yourself that says we're going to be targeted with full cost recovery, or the team pay for itself, or some such mechanism?
Yeah, so at the moment what we have just agreed is that we would be charged out. So if a service area is wanting somebody from our team to come in and do manage a project for them or a programme, then we get charged out via our salary. At one point we're thinking of it being charged out at our salary plus a percentage. But there was an argument, okay, well, if I was a service manager, I'd say, well, if you're charging somebody internally, I could get somebody external that might have the skills that I need for the same price. So that's what we've just signed off like in last week or two.
Yeah, so we'll go like that in April. We have a few people who are fully funded, so my strategy team are fully funded and the portfolio team are fully funded, but the project managers for delivery need to be charged out on that basis.
We've also agreed, because there is a number of things that are coming out of the change strategy, we don't have the capacity, probably the capability internally to deliver all of the change that's going to be coming. Change that's happening at the moment and further change that's going to be coming through. So we're going out externally and getting resource, project management resource, to do some of that. I think in a year's contract, but also that'll depend on the nature of the project and programmes. One of the things that would have to obviously be netted off any of those savings that we need to deliver for that 106 million in the next sort of 4 years.
That's great, Scott. Thank you. Thanks very much, Stephen, for starting us off. Anybody get anything, Andy?
Okay, I've got a question also for Scott, but I guess it might apply to us as well. You said a wee bit about the closure part of like an exit strategy and so on. Did you say you need to do more work on that? It strikes me that that's quite an important part of the whole process. You take stock, lessons learned, how you feed it back into the design process, if you like. It'd be great for you to say a wee bit more about what else you think you have to do in that.
Yeah, I think everybody in the organisation says, yeah, we should be doing this, and as a fellow director, we've just been through this. We've just been through internal audit in terms of how we deliver projects and programmes in the organisation. It came out as being one of the top areas for improvement. One of the areas that we focus on is lessons learned. So one of the key things that we have been saying, and internal audit and back that up, is we don't apply lessons learned very well to projects, new projects that are coming through. So we might do lessons learned and then just shove them in a drawer. So we get another project that comes up, whether it's a service transformation project, we don't say, okay, well, we've done a similar type project last year or a few years ago, what were the lessons learned from that and apply it? So it's one of the things that we're being quite strong on at the moment. It's not just doing formal closure of but also doing lessons learned. And I've said as a minimum we need to do lessons learned at least at the end of the project, but I would be doing them at key stages during that project or programme. So for example, at the moment, looking at replacing the Swift solution, what I'm saying is, once we get through, if we can get funding, procure a solution, we should do lessons learned at that stage, and then go on to the planning stage, and then into delivery at each of the key stages, do lessons learned. So don't forget about some of the stuff we've done earlier. Project close reports. Now we've got the portfolio set up, and we've got our teams, leadership team engaged in this, so the directors and chief executive, they've got our back on that, so to speak. So we're doing a lot of deep dive in the projects. So some of the projects that we've got running in the portfolio, every month or so we're calling on certain projects to come in and get that visibility, not just at director and chief executive level, but also at elected member level. So in 6 months' time, I'm getting dragged in to go to committees to go through a deep dive on the replacement of Swift and some of the changes we're doing in children's services. So there's a lot of visibility getting shown or cast on projects at the moment in terms of making sure that we've got at least those basics being applied across the board.
Thanks for the question. I think my guess that's what gets for the three of you, and actually for anybody across the room. I guess in terms of the role that IS has to play about picking up lessons learned, because it's not within your own organisation, it's thinking about how we can pick up the learning from each of it and sharing it across all the different authorities and partnership agencies we're working with. So obviously we've got the event today and we're hearing from 3 different councils, we've got our breakout sessions to pick up some of that. But I guess it's an open question to the 3 of you or anybody else in terms of, is there anything in terms of the IS role we can do? We do things like our webinars, we've got our change framework where we have like a repository of project documentation, whether it be lessons learned, business cases, etc. But is there anything else in terms of that that maybe we can pick up? And it's maybe one to think about, we can pick it up in the group sessions, but I think the lessons learned is absolutely key. We're all working together in similar type ideas, so how can we share that across? I don't know if anyone's got anything to say.
I suppose in my head it's how do we all become learning organisations, so the lessons learned are just one way, so that's a key exercise, if you like, that punctuates something. But how do we actually learn the whole time and share our experience? So it comes back to communication. When have you ever seen a critical report that hasn't had a failure of communication at the heart of it? So again, for me, it's about networking, it's about making sure that everybody's voice is heard, either in your organisation or in your community, and then learning the whole time. And I think it also links to what Sarah was saying about the intelligent use of all the information and data we've got, not just within our own organisations, but across partnerships nationally and even internationally. We shouldn't limit our horizons in terms of where we look to learn.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Another idea might be if you're doing a clinical trial, you have to record the fact in a database that the trial is taking place. If we just eliminated all our project dossiers and a really simple list you could search and find out the council replacing Swift, and 5 council are replacing Swift, probably all replacing Swift, I think it's going to switch off. There's a number of things which we are all doing the same things, just knowing that somebody else is doing it and finding the contact. You don't need an essay or all documentation, just enough to recognise somebody's doing the same, or I've done it already, can we go and share? Sure.
Does anybody else get any questions for us? Alan?
Yeah, can I just ask around about, I think it's really important around about having a project approach and governance, but to me one of the critical things that it spoke through that change process. So can I just ask what the plans are, maybe specifically for you, Scott, around about how you're supporting people through the change in terms of processes, through behaviours, and reinforcing the change after it's implemented? So what approach would be there?
Yeah, I think ideally what we were doing, we've done it previously, but again, I think we're just going to be a bit smarter now because we don't have the resource that we can really put into a lot of the projects. But normally we might have the programme manager and a business change manager. So the programme or project manager basically build the ship. The business change manager making sure that everybody in that could row it. Some kind of analogy that I use in terms of a project programme they deliver or build, whatever. Your business change manager, then make sure everybody could then row the boat. So I think we just have to be quite clear in terms of, depending on what the nature of the project, how we make sure that we engage people. So one of the things that I've done at the moment in terms of the potential replacement of Swift is looking at, okay, simple stakeholder engagement. So who are all the stakeholders or stakeholder groups? How do we communicate with those groups? How frequently? What's the type of media that we would use to do that? And also kind of standard stuff in terms of the level of influence and importance, so you get kind of a picture in terms of all the different groups. One of the things when I did the IT refresh in schools, we've got, I think in Edinburgh, I can't remember, 23 high schools, about 80 primary schools, about 8 specials, plus the nurseries and a number of community learning centres. I had a bit of a wobble when I started that because I thought, well, I was told head teachers, schools are a bit of a difficult audience. So when I went in that, one of the first things I did was try and identify the people that were going to be the biggest critics. So I identified a number of people, whether it was head teachers, people support, community learning people, got them in really early. And it's been very clear and upfront in terms of, okay, tell us what you want in terms of that learning and teaching environment, and be honest in terms of the limitations that we work in. So in Edinburgh, it wasn't so much about, I'm not bothered about new computers. I'm more interested in making sure that we've got the infrastructure in place, so we've got proper bandwidth going into schools. So one of the things that we focused on was across the schools estate saying, okay, so the biggie was the network. The second area was having wireless in schools. So students, say primary 5 people's doing a project on the rainforests, rather than look through books, we get an iPad, for example, or get on the computer and they could go on the internet. So the importance was the network, bandwidth, and that helped me, because 6 months into the project, when I had a particular school come up to me and say, well, I don't want that, I would say, well, roll back 6 months, and as a learning and teaching estate, those were the things that were agreed, and it was making sure we communicated that, and I used head teachers instead of to sell that message, because probably wouldn't listen to me as a project or program manager. So I got those head teachers, people spoke people on, and they did a lot of the selling of that. So using people that I think those peers would trust helps as well.
We're trying to build on that in the strategy to enable the organisation to co-design, and because our policies and the way we can speak to systems, the way we engage, none of it really helps us do any of that upfront kind of design work. So we're trying to kind of turn it all around to say, well, this is the way we can engage with people first before the option goes out and it kind of feels like so we're trying to take that and actually build it into all of our kind of organisational review policies and how we design things upfront.
What about linking into the work Daniel's doing and saying kind of doing this and stuff?
Well, that was going to be my question, if you don't mind. How did the idea of like inspections kind of go down with your workforce? Because I can see that being probably very engaging from a citizen perspective, and especially for citizens in Edinburgh, they might be like, oh, great, we can get in there and like see what we're up to. But just because I've got to try and find a way of re-engaging our workforce as well as encouraging our citizens to get involved. So it's just the balance of that word inspection is quite. It's quite a lot of connotations.
It strikes me that people as soon as you say to them, we're doing a citizen inspection, maybe the inspection, oh my God, what does that mean? We're going to get grilling from somebody, or we're going to get all these negative feedback. And it was a challenge at the start, because as you say, the inspection and all that things, but I think as soon as we started explaining to people, as soon as we started to do one or two of them, and we could then sell those to the other services and say, well, look what came out there, this is what you'll get, we can show them. Here's the feedback report that you'll get at the end. And as soon as they get started with that, it's actually, that's been great. We're seeing positive things, and people aren't just coming in and being negative about it, they're seeing lots of positive things about us as well, which is really good. And the things that we can go back to our staff and say, look what these people are saying about you, they've said the staff are great, or this bit of service is brilliant, that type of thing. So that helps. So it's helped us over the years, and more we've done. I think you're right, it was something that was talked about at the start. What do we call this? Without putting the fear into people that, particularly internally, that it's unwrong formal inspection, it's somebody else coming in and looking at it. So it was something to done. I think we've got over that and being able to show people what comes out of it at the end has been key to that.
Excuse me, Dan, see on the market, but I think it's really like to bring to school about this, how does that fit in at all?
I mean, it does. I mean, we don't involve the elected members in this at all, really, to be honest. I mean, they see within the city, but what we've tried to do is, we've tried to frame it very much about the service. So we're asking inspectors to go and look at the service. We try to take the political and the elected member role out of it. So it's not about, part of it, they look at leadership and things like that, and the decision-making process, but we try to take that bit, the elected member being over here, so actually as much as they may be making a decision on it, that's not what's affecting the day-to-day running of the service. So we ask the inspectors to look more at the service on a day-to-day basis. Where the elected member will get involved in, as I said, is where there are changes to be made, where a service can go and say, we have done a citizens' inspection, and this has led us to this point, and their feedback has been vital. The elected members do appreciate that, and they, as I say, it carries some weight. We've done that because service can say, we've involved the customer in this. This is what customers have told us. They've been heavily involved, they've seen all the detail, they've seen all the plans, they understand it fully, and this is the feedback that we've got from that. So, elected members they appreciate it at that point that they're involved. As I say, we try to keep them out of any. So inspectors will never meet an elected member, they'll never have that, that kind of interaction. It's all about the service and how the service is on a kind of daily basis.
Was that hard sell to the members? Or
No, not really. They were quite keen on it, and they still are, to be fair. I think we've had positive feedback from external bodies. We had the best value audit last year, and that we had some positive feedback that they gave it, and one of the recommendations they made was do more of this. So that's kind of put on the radar of elected members as well. So we now do kind of an annual report to the scrutiny panel to say this is the work we've done throughout the year, these are the services that have been through the process, this is some of the improvements that came out of it, this is some of the positive things that we've been told by us. So they're much more engaged with it now than they probably were at the start of it. They like sound great, like the idea of it, something you can sell, but now they're starting to see the benefit of it as well.
Do you have a question?
No, just
Thanks, covered.
And maybe any of the panel can answer this, but potentially kind of following on what Scott was speaking about, was resources and the challenge of that, and also the investment in your change board and having that sort of being clear about the definition of what the rules are. Do you think because you've done that, that has helped to cascade that sort of message down to sort of say what the roles and responsibilities are within a project? And because that's one of the problems that we've got within our project, that we've got a project framework, we've got very much structured thing, but people don't realise the responsibility that they have once they're part of a project team or board, or even the change board is still bottoming out, what are we, if you know what I mean? So I was just wondering, how did you engage in part of the behaviours and sort of thing? How did you sort of get over that challenge, I suppose, of people understanding what the roles and responsibilities are?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think it's partnership. I think probably like any organisation, we've got pockets of really good practice in terms of delivery, where everybody's really sort of clued up in terms of what each of the roles are. But it's a spectrum, we've got areas that are totally non-existent. So we've got projects that have multiple sponsors in them, and saying, well, actually there needs to be one person ultimately accountable for the project. So to be honest, it has been a bit patchy. I think it has been a bit kind of a bit of an uphill struggle. I would say Edinburgh is probably, in terms of its maturity, in terms of delivery, it would probably be at the lower end. I'm totally honest. I think what we're trying to do, and it's chipping away slowly, is getting even those basics out. So, as I said, even that sort of our council leadership team was going through and saying, right, well, actually, a lot of what was coming back was the project manager is responsible for that. I was pushing back to, well, actually, no. Project manager is responsible for day-to-day delivery. Ultimately, your sponsor, whether that may be a head of service or a director or somebody else, that's their responsibility. So it has, and it continues to be that sort of education thing, and that's why I'm doing a lot of briefing sessions, January, February time internally, just to try and get those basics and fundamentals out there. So everybody's got into it, but I think in terms of actually cascading it down, it's probably not gone that far at this point in time, to be honest.
Any other final questions?
Can I just ask about, I think silos were mentioned, and getting people's time, all these things. I think part of the whole leadership challenge is about making people, because the greatest asset we've got council is staff. So Highland Council is 8,500 members of staff. And I sometimes think, and I'm asking the panel particularly, if you agree or have you done anything in terms of bringing people, you've got a huge body of staff. If people go off sick or people go on holidays for X time, the world doesn't stop, and I think sometimes we think it will, but it doesn't. Have you tried to bring people out of their day job and help with these change projects, even if it's not within their particular service area? Because that's certainly what we're trying to do.
suppose I found that fascinating because when we started the business transformation programme, which was talking about, it's about 2 years old, we were really keen to do secondments and backfill, and we have the money to do it. And that way then building the, sorry, yes we do have and that way building that knowledge in the organisation, which again you were talking about, so that you're not just bringing people in, they go away and then you lose it. And we got hardly any response. Over the 2 years, we had one person come forward for secondment. That person then decided he needed another postgraduate degree and left. So we now have nobody seconded in that sense, having volunteered. And so we tried through our various staff groups to find out, well, what's going on here? Because this sounds like perfect career development, opportunity, what have you. And people were afraid. They were afraid to come forward because they thought when they'd done this bit of work, back home they wouldn't have backfilled, they would have made do without, and their job would have gone. And this comes back to, again, something you mentioned, Scott, about earlier transformation programmes being all about how can we shed staff, how can we just shrink. And so people thought this secondment idea was going to be about getting rid of their jobs. So we've had a huge challenge to really get people to understand that's not what it's about. So what we're trying to talk about now, particularly through workforce planning, is to say that we wouldn't have a recruitment problem for some posts, we didn't have a retention problem. And part of the retention problem needs to be succession planning, growing our own, really developing our staff, investing in the people we've got. And that means making you mobile within the organisation. So having you happy to go across things. And more recently, on the tertiary review that I was talking about, this latest iteration of it, we've actually had someone in HR, someone from our governance and law team, and an accountant come across and work on that with a view to being backfilled, and they have really seen that as a huge opportunity. So what we're now going to try and do is get them to tell their story, so that hopefully success will breed success. But the fear thing was really disappointing because we were really trying to invest in our own staff. But I think with the financial pressures and everything that's going on, we mustn't underestimate the fear factor amongst our staff. I think it's really difficult one. Thank you.